Samsung Galaxy S24 versus Galaxy S23 speed test. Let's go ahead and begin with a boot up in 3, 2, go, and see which one can get there first. Now, as far as some of the changes, we're looking at a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 over here for Galaxy 8 Gen 2 over here. The Galaxy S24 definitely got smoother edges, but they don't look as shiny as the Galaxy S23, and it boots up faster on the left over the S23. One change I'm not sure I'm digging so much is that it got a little bit taller. It's 6.2 inches, and I really found the S23 to be super compact and comfortable. This feels a slightly bigger, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that. Are you a fan of that slight increase in the size? Let me know down below in the comments. So if you take a look at this home screen, you can kind of see that flickering right there. That's the PWM. They improved that here on this panel. You don't see it happening no more. They doubled the rate, so it's much easier on the eye. But right now, until the next update, it's not as saturated as the Galaxy S23. But let's talk about the biometric speed here. So in terms of the fingerprint sensors, they're not going to change too much as they retain the same in-display variety. Am I doing this wrong, or is... Hold on. That was my face. Hold on. Let's go ahead and do this again. It looks like maybe the animation a little faster on the S24, unless I'm clicking it first. Nah, I was clicking it first. Let's do it again. Yeah, it's barely any different. Also, you can unlock these if you know where they're at with the screen off. So biometric speed about the same. Also, they have these face unlock features. I don't have it turned on the S24, but you can see you can bypass lock screen pretty fast on both of them. In terms of the software, it's the same experience, again, just on a taller screen, much easier on the eye display as well due to the increased PWM. But right now, some people are irritated by the lack of saturation, so the S23 right now actually looks better. I also feel like the S23 feels more comfortable, but in terms of the speed of the software, 6.0 was a huge update for the S23. And over here, you are going to be very happy with the performance out of the Samsung S24 when you get yours, if you haven't already. It's definitely very smooth, and it feels a little snappier even than the S23, which is a good thing. Okay, so we've arrived at the app portion of this video. Everything is closed out for both phones. Let's go into calendar. You could see, was that the S23? Let's go into calculator. About the same. We'll go into clock. About the same. When clicking through different menus, you have an 8 Gen 2, which was already very fast. We're also seeing 8 Gen 2 make its way to phones like the OnePlus 12R. So it's like they're still going to be keeping this around in certain versions of smartphones. So 8 Gen 2 is still very quick. Let's go into Play Store. And Samsung has decided to keep the S23 for sale. So you can actually get this still this year. I'm trading mine in on the S24, but you can definitely pick one up this year for sure, and it's going to be a great deal as it's still a blazing fast and very capable smartphone. Let's go into Instagram here, and you'll see Instagram slightly faster on the S23, but this is like maybe just because my finger is not perfect. It could be just, you'll just see right here as I click things. Yeah, if I click it exactly at the same time, you'll see that we get exactly the same performance. So very good. We'll go into Groupon, and that was faster for the S24. You could see faster in S23, so that could be network dependent. I'm not giving it any slack, but that could have been network dependent. The fact that both of these do have a adaptive refresh display means both are going to scroll equally smooth. And so should you really upgrade if you have S23? I'd say no. Definitely not if you have S23, unless the PWM annoys you, unless you want the AI features, which are probably going to come to the S23. I would say not. If you have an S22 though, definitely go to the S24. If you have an S21, I would go to the S24 as well. If you want to save though, the S23 is a good option as well. If you have an iPhone series and you want to try Samsung, like if you have an iPhone 13, I would consider the S23. It's more in line with the size of that phone. If you wanted to try out like Samsung from iPhone, this is still a 6.1. This is 6.2 inch screen, so you might not like that increased size. Even though it's just a hair bigger, that reach to the top, you can see just that inch up there is noticeable. So let's go into Dead Trigger 2 here, see which one is quicker. And gaming pops open first on the left. They did clock the CPU a little bit higher on the S24, and so with that being said, you do have a upgrade in that area. Our UPS was calling, so I had to make a quick cut. You probably heard that in the background. Let's go ahead and hit Tempo Run here, and you'll see Tempo Run. I know Tempo Run is not a hard game to load, but the S24 still did that faster. Let's go into play. And we'll go ahead and open this up. I really like how they got the winter theme going on. I like how they change it up for every season. That's pretty dope. Let's go into PUBG Mobile. Now this one takes a little bit more time to launch open. But yeah, back on the topic of a little bit more size, I noticed that that reach to the top though is kind of something I'm not digging. If you wanted the more compact size, the S23 is still the winner there. But this is not, while it's just a hair taller, like it's still the most compact of the S23 line. Are they not letting me log in here? Hold on, let's see what's happening here. Okay, so it looks like they're not letting me log in. I think it's because I'm on the same. Yeah, it's not letting me log in on both at the same. So we're just gonna leave it at the main launch screen. We'll go into Geekbench 6. That's because I did the transfer, so it's on the same account. But you'll see right here, 8 Gen 2, that doesn't say 8 Gen 3 yet, but you can see they clock those CPUs on pretty much every core higher. Even if it's a little bit, that's all it takes to get a little bit boost in performance. Let's go into 3D Mark. And you'll see, pretty close, camera. I don't see you noticing a major change between these two besides the AI. That is a big change. But if that comes to the S23, it's pretty much a wash at that point, and then you just want a slightly bigger screen, slightly updated CPU. I think the bigger upgrade was on the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus with the QHD resolution. Overall, the general speed test of the apps here was quite close here, with the S24 giving you this slight boost in performance. Like I've said before, just a hair. We're gonna do a hair on this one too. It's just a hair on this one as well. Maybe we'll see bigger differences when we compare against the Pixel line, which uses a different CPU altogether. Okay, so let's go back through the applications. As you've seen in my 15 comparison, this performed exceptionally well on the S24. I am very happy with the way animations are starting to turn out on Samsung phones. They are looking beautiful these days. I do think Samsung could still work on the gesture looking a little smoother. They can still get it just slightly better. I still think there are Android phones like the OnePlus line that still have slightly better performance. Maybe some of the Xiaomi phones, HyperOS, ColorOS, some of those have slightly better looking animations, but the overall polish of the software and the feature set is still strong on the Samsung, and they're doing really good. You see no reloads, very good at looking animations, no glitches, hangs, or nothing like that. Let's go ahead and take it on now to the Galaxy S23. Let me get this thing into focus. All right, let's go into InShot. We'll go into speed test, camera, and then you can see this is on 6.0. I don't have 6.1 yet. It wasn't available yet, so let me know if you see any difference between this. But man, does this display look so much more vivid than the Galaxy S24. That is hugely noticeable. I really hope that that update comes soon, because every time I look at this looks like what we expect from Samsung, a punchy, saturated display, and that one looks very dull, but it's still very good because it's super tack sharp on the new one, and it's very easy on the eye with eye comfort and everything. So this one more likely to cause eye strain and stuff, even though it's more vivid. This one not so much, but they still need to launch a vivid mode boost on the next update for sure. So our Geekbench scores, 6 scores are in for the S24, finishing first. So you can see definitely more powerful to finish this test. Good amount faster shows that it is more powerful. You'll see a good improvement there on the single, but not too much. Definitely on the multi-core score though. So if you're pushing the phone, S24 is going to be the one you want. I don't know how many people are really pushing the base model though. The base model is an everyday phone. So like, how much are you really pushing the CPU, the performance on a base model smartphone? I really feel like the people who want the powerhouse devices are going to go with the Plus or the Ultra. because they're going to be on their phone a lot with those big screens. So I'm not saying not to get the S24, but I'm just saying that how important that is that to you. And if it is very important to you, you don't like big phones, you still want the power, the S24 is the recommend for sure. But if you can live with, pretty much similar performance, but a slight decrease in top tier level performance in gaming and stuff like that, you'll still be happy getting a discounted S23, like you will. So this is going to be just down to what you need in a smartphone. So I'll be back when they're done with the 3D Mark. Okay, so the final Wildlife Extreme scores are in, and we got 4 FPS better on the S24. Both these phones a little bit toasty. 18.97 for the S23. This scoring better than 74% of devices. This one better than 86. Now, I did get better than 91% of devices and better score on my previous test of 26 FPS. So maybe these scores vary depending on how warm the phone is. Maybe I should have closed all the apps first. I'm not sure. Bottom line, though, is that the S24 far outperforms the S23 when it comes to the GPU. So gamers, get the S24. If you're not mobile gaming, you're not going to notice a ton of difference unless you start, rendering out videos and things like that. You might notice a little bit of a bump, but you're really just going to notice the AI features, the different color, the feel, the height. Those things are a little bit more noticeable in the anti-reflective screen. That's a lot easier on the eye, but not as vivid at this moment. So there's a lot. Those are the few little things you're going to notice. Let's wrap it up by opening up the camera. I'll bring in this little car toy for a camera sample. Let's close that out, and let's close it out here. And let's go ahead and see which one launches the camera faster, if any. About the same. We'll do that again. 3, 2, go. I think that was the S24. Let me go ahead and close them out. Hold on. I'm acting drunk right now. Let's go ahead and do it again. 3, 2, go. And let's hit 3. Let's hit the 0.5. Yeah, no major differences here. Yeah, they're going to shoot the pictures at the same time. The shutter speed is about the same. Wrapping it up here. I don't think it's worth the upgrade if you have S23. I think it's definitely worth the upgrade if you have an S22 for majorly so. If the S23's PWM bothered you, it's still worth the upgrade. If you want a slightly increased height and AI, it could be worth it. If you just want the latest Samsung phone, it could be worth it. But these are pretty close phones here overall. They're pretty similar. I wouldn't have did this upgrade if it wasn't for, making the videos for you. That's why I do them for you guys. So thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.